I bought another plant today. I tried to sneak it past my husband by tucking it behind some pothos and a monstera. I figured the canopy of plant foliage was enough to hide the new addition from my suspecting spouse. It didn't work. He found it almost instantly, which is pretty impressive for someone who can't distinguish a peperomia from a sansevieria. You bought a new plant today? No. I had that already. No, that's new. Caught. Just like that, red-handed. Or would it be green-thumbed? In any event, he was right. I bought a new plant and clearly failed at botanical espionage. Why does that even matter? Why is the addition of a new plant cause for concern? I am what you would call a houseplant hobby enthusiast, or a houseplant hobbyist. At least that's how social media defines me, and people like me. Essentially, I'm a plant hoarder, limited only by the amount of light streaming through my windows and the humidity in the air. Sorry, succulents. The problem with being a plant hoarder is no one really cares if you are one. People look at the collection of plants you've amassed and praise it. Other plant people entice you to get more by flaunting their latest and rare Instagrammable anthuriums and philodendrons. It's well known among us plant people types that the only individuals who take issue with your plant obsession is your partner or spouse. With space at a premium, they all too often find themselves in an ever-shrinking footprint of habitable space. To alleviate the natural stressors of my space-invading hobby, I've become pretty adept at stacking and balancing plants neatly against windows and walls, mostly. Occasionally, my plants will have other plans and rebel. Holding me hostage, some plants will refuse to stay green and drop their leaves until, at their behest, I move them to their preferred location. Okay, maybe I'm being slightly dramatic, but sometimes you just have to shift your plants around until you can find a spot where they'll thrive. Recently, I discovered that some of my plants like to roost on my coffee table. One plant revived almost instantly, cementing its location. I'm still waiting for the backlash I'm going to get when my husband feels a machete is needed to get an unobstructed view of our television. Perhaps I should cue up Jumanji? Don't get me wrong, I love the lush jungle look. If I had my druthers, I would have walls of plants flanking me on every side. I want to feel like I'm wrapped up in a chlorophyll cocoon. COVID-19, however, has made my dream unattainable. No, you can't catch COVID through houseplants, but you can't find them either. Nearly 8 months of quarantine has caused Gen Xers, Millennials, and Gen Zers to converge on my lifelong hobby and buy up all the available plants, both foreign and domestic. I guess this pandemic necessitates bringing the outside in, providing a sanctuary during social isolation. While I am respectful of their plight and newly found hobby, the obsession and fervor for which they approach the plant market is relentless, driving up the cost of plants and emptying all available inventory. It's the worst. How can I compete with the overly tech-savvy, carpal tunnel-free 20 to 30-something who seemingly have limitless budgets and tenacious index fingers ready to left-click on anything being sold that is remotely green? What's a hoarder to do when there aren't any plants to hoard? The only thing he can do. He dips the stem cuttings he has in rooting hormone, and he propagates.